News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM. We are KFYO Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. It is 7:35. It is Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for the Car Pro. Good morning there, Jerry.
Well, good morning, fellas. How are y'all?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Buddy, I'm doing good. Doing good.
Is it cold there in the Metroplex?
Yeah. And it rained nonstop yesterday, all day long. And that's the day. Wednesday is my designated day to shoot video with whatever car I'm reviewing that week. So when it rains like that and doesn't stop, it certainly adds a different element to it, I'll tell you that.
Well, and hey, you got to test drive some cars on slick roads or wet roads.
Yes, I did. It's a little tough when you're driving something that's got 600 horses under the hood. And
Is it rear-wheel drive?
It's all-wheel drive.
Oh, well,
actually.
at least you got that because I used to have a car. It was rear-wheel drive and it had a lot of power. And when things were slick, those wheels didn't move very well.
Oh, I've been there, man. Every Hellcat I've had, it seems like one day of the week that I've got the car, it rains, and boy, it's the same deal. Lots of horsepower and rear-wheel drives, just not a good combination.
Yeah.
This week I've got an SUV, however. It is the most powerful, most luxurious, and the most expensive SUV sold in America. It is the new Bentley Bentayga. What do you say about this thing? It's $260,000. As I said, it's got 600 horses. It'll top out at 187 miles per hour, and it's quicker 0 to 60 than a Corvette Z06 or a Ferrari F12. It's just a real unusual SUV. Obviously, not a big seller for Bentley, but everybody's getting into the SUV business, as we know. Ferrari's even got one planned. We'll see next year. I had the first Maserati SUV earlier this year. So this is a trend, all handmade. You can order it any way you want to. You can show them. You can literally show them a fingernail polish color, and they'll match it. And then you choose your interiors and your options and that sort of thing. And big 22-inch wheels. I sent you guys a picture at the Morning Show website for you to look at when you get a second. But just an amazing SUV.
Yeah, I mean, I see pictures online here, and it's. I don't know. It does. I mean, it looks like a Bentley. But you think of like Ferrari and other companies looking at doing that. How are they going to keep that supercar kind of look in an SUV?
Yeah, I wonder that with Ferrari too. With Bentley, one glance at the front end, and you know it's a Bentley. The Maserati was the same way. It looked like a sedan. I don't know what Ferrari's going to do. We'll find out. They may just have to abandon that typical look and go with something else. And then what do you put under the hood? Because all these manufacturers, their whole goal is to outdo whoever's on the top. So you got to assume when Ferrari comes out, it's going to be faster. It's going to have more horsepower. Probably going to be more money. And it's probably going to sell like hotcakes.
Well, this is
the first one.
This kind of started.
Next year.
I was going to say this kind of started with. I want to say it was in the early 2000s with Porsche doing their SUV kind of crossover thing, didn't it?
Yeah, the Cayenne's been around a long time. It wasn't as performance oriented an SUV as this one is, but it was a lot less money also. Yeah. And still today the Cayenne sells very well. And then they came out with a smaller version, the Cayman, to add to the lineup. So, if you look at car sales numbers, and I study those every day, and I see the number of people who are defecting to SUVs from sedans, especially people over 50. I don't know where this thing stops. Of course, we've had a long period of cheap gas prices, and that has an effect. This thing could flip itself around in a hurry. I've seen that happen.
But they are easier, if you're not worried about gas mileage, they're easier to get in and out of, and they're more comfortable, I think.
They are, and the visibility's better, and it's a lot easier to load things in. If you've got a sedan, and you go to the grocery store, and let's say you're in your 70s and you got a bag of groceries, you got to set those down into the trunk and then pull them out when you get where you're going. With the SUV, you just kind of slide them in. Makes it much easier. And that's what I see with people. But the bigger thing, I think, is the visibility. They want to be able to see the road ahead, and I think that's smart, especially when as we age and our reflexes aren't as fast as they once were. Things like blind spot monitoring, where you don't have to make that quick head turn to know if there's a car next to you. You can glance into the mirror and tell in really fast. There's just a lot of things that as we age, people are constantly. I hear from people every single day, multiple times a day. Well, we think we're going to get our first SUV. Okay, you got lots of choices, and that's the good news.
Well, I'll tell you, Jerry, I have a Highlander, and honestly, I cannot imagine ever going back to a sedan situation. I mean, there's so many reasons that in my opinion, that it is better.
And for those people who, and I still hear from them too, hey, I don't want an SUV, I want a sedan. I've driven sedans my whole life. Talk about some bargains out there right now. There are some huge incentives on sedans as the automakers try to find a way to keep that business going. And you got an overcapacity situation with sedans and an undercapacity situation with SUVs. So the bargains right now are on, especially the mid-size sedans, the Fusion, the Camry, the brand new Accord just came out, the Chevy Malibu, big money. I mean, Ford Fusion's got a $5,000 rebate on it right now in Texas. That's a huge percentage of the cost of the vehicle.
You say the Ford
Fusion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a good car if you want a car. I've recommended them for years, but if $5,000 sitting on the hood of that car won't move it, Ford's going to have to just cut capacity and figure out how to build more SUVs.
Well, listen, I'll tell you what. My daughter just bought a Nissan Altima.
Yeah,
brand spanking new, right off the lot with some equipment. It's $17,000.
Yep, I was going to say probably well under 20.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know they made a sedan under $20,000.
Well, and we've talked about this before. Shop a used 2016 equipped like that, and guess what? It's going to be about $17,000. So people who are thinking used sedans really ought to look at new as well and compare the difference.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to find there's not much.
Got the warranty and
yeah. So we're
miles.
We're running out of time. What do you have on the website for us to read right now?
I got a good article up this week about how to sell a car yourself, and then I'm following that up. It'll be up later today with how to buy a car cross-country. Because more and more people are wanting to go outside their area because they can't find what they want, but they're afraid to do it.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
I walk them through exactly what to do, step by step by step, and I've bought cars cross-country myself. It can be a nightmare, but if you follow my instructions on the website later today, you can do it safely.
Okay. All right, so Car Pro Jerry Reynolds, thank you for coming on. You are on our show, you're on our station, 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO from 11 to 1 Saturdays.
I will be there with bells on.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, fellas.
Have a good day.
You too.
We'll be back in a moment.